Of the fantasy baseball season. Here's a few pitchers I look to buy low and trade for this week. The first guy is Michael Pineda of the Minnesota Twins. So Pineda on the season, 47 and 2/3, 3-3 record, 39 hits, 18 earned runs, 9 homers given up, 12 walks, 48 strikeouts, 3.40 ERA, a 1.07 WHIP, and 4 quality starts. So those are pretty good numbers, obviously here for Pineda. But the last 2 weeks, 9 innings, 1-1 record. 10 hits, 6 earned runs, 1 homer, 2 walks, 9 Ks, 6 ERA, 1.13 whip and a quality start. And then he had some forearm tightness a couple days ago in his latest outing versus the Baltimore Orioles. So right here, Pineda, he's a quality fantasy pitcher, and he's been pretty good this season. You know, you're going to get 5 to 6 innings of solid pitching from him, and he's a good pitcher to have at the back end of your rotation in the major leagues and obviously in fantasy baseball. And right now, while he got bombed and he's a little banged up, I think he's a perfect buy low candidate. And he's underrated in my opinion, is Pineda. Each and every season I try to get him at least in 1 or 2 of my fantasy teams. And the last few outings for him, May 13th at Chicago White Sox, 5 1/3, got the loss, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 homers, 3 walks, 7 Ks, a 5.06 ERA, a 1.31 WHIP. May 26th versus Baltimore, 6 innings, got the win. 3 hits, 1 earned run, a homer, 2 walks, 8 Ks, a 1.50 ERA, 0.83 whip and a quality start. And then like I mentioned a few days ago, June 1st at Baltimore, 3 innings, got the loss, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, a K, 15 ERA, 2.33 whip, and left the game with tightness. So right now with the tightness and his latest outing, him getting bombed, I think it's a perfect time to go out there and get Pineda. Even if he lands on the DL, and there's no major injury, I still would take a chance on him and try to get him on a discount. The next pitcher is Aaron Nola, the Philadelphia Phillies. So Aaron Nola, it's been a weird season for him so far. It's been 1 good start, 1 mediocre start, 1 bad start for him, it seems like. So far this season, 70 1/3, 4-4 record, 67 hits, 30 earned runs, 8 homers, 15 walks, 78 strikeouts. Still pretty decent ERA. 3.84 with a 1.17 whip and 6 quality starts. But the last couple weeks he had 16 innings, 1-1 record, 17 hits, 8 earned runs, 2 homers, 6 walks, 17 Ks, a 4.5 ERA, 1.44 whip, and a quality start here for Nola. So Nola, we know he's the ace for this Philly staff. But this season it just seems like he's not going deep into games. He's only been a 5 or 6 inning pitcher. In most fantasy drafts, I saw him go 2nd or 3rd round. So right now, fantasy owners, they're not getting that value where they drafted Nola right now. Right now, they're definitely frustrated with him. And I think you could definitely get him way cheaper than you would have, say, the first 2-3 weeks of the season. So the last few outings here for Nola, May 21st versus Boston, 5 innings, got the loss, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, a homer, a walk, 9 Ks, a 7.20 ERA, and a 1.60 whip. That May 26 in Miami, 6 innings, no decision, 2 hits and earned run, 3 walks, 6 Ks, 1.50 ERA, and 0.83 whip, and a quality start. And then June 1st at Cincinnati, 5 innings, got the win, still gave up 8 hits, 3 earned runs, a homer, 2 walks, 2 Ks, a 5.40 ERA, and a 2 whip. So he's only got 2 quality starts, Nola, since May 4th. So it's been a tough 4 or 5 starts for him where he's not putting up huge numbers. And right now, I think he definitely could turn it around. He's too good of a pitcher just to go totally backwards in a season or 2 from where he was. So right now, while his value's down and the numbers aren't great, he's a good buy low candidate this week here is Aaron Nola. The next pitcher is Zach Gallen of the Arizona Diamondbacks. So I spoke about him last week as a buy low candidate. And once again, I'm going to recommend him here. This week is Gallen. So Gallen, he's obviously on the injured list. And he threw a 30-pitch bullpen session a few days ago. So right here, maybe he'll get a few more sessions, get 2 or 3 rehab starts, and he'll come back because he went under the knife pretty quick for the elbow injury here, was Gallen. And he's been out a month now pretty much. So his numbers on the season before he went down, 26 2/3, 1-1 record, 18 hits, 9 earned runs, a homer, 14 walks, 32 strikeouts, 3.04 ERA, a 1.20 whip, and 2 quality starts. So right there, pretty solid numbers right there for Gallen. And probably 4 or 5 starts he started this season. We saw him last season where he had more of a workload, obviously, where he pitched 72 innings, went 3-2 with 22 earned runs, 9 homers given up, 82 strikeouts, 2.75 ERA, and a 1.11 whip with 9 quality starts, so we know the upside for Gowan. And right now, while he's not doing much activity and there's really no timetable for his return, this is a perfect time, in my opinion, to buy him low while he's still on the injured list before he comes back in, let's say, a month, and he really has some big games. So right now it makes sense to go out there and buy him on the cheap this week. The next pitch is Dylan Cease of the Chicago White Sox. So Cease, he's been pretty solid the last few outings before he got bombed in his June 1st ball game a few nights ago with Cease. So Cease on the season, 54 2/3, 3-2 record, 47 hits, 23 earned runs, 5 homers given up, 7 walks, 68 strikeouts, a 3.79 ERA, 1.35 whip, and 3 quality starts in the last couple weeks here for Cease. 13 2/3, 1-2 record, 17 hits, 12 earned runs, 2 homers, 7 walks, 18 strikeouts, a 7.90 ERA, a 1.76 whip, and a quality start. So I said Cease, he got bombed in his latest outing at Cleveland, where he gave up 6 runs and 8 hits and 3 1/3, and that's going to bump the ERA up. I still think he's a good pitcher. He was high in the White Sox system as a prospect a few seasons ago, and I just think it's been a bad 2 out of 3 games for him, but I think he could bounce back, and we've seen what he could do when he's on his best pitching. So right here, May 22nd at the Yankees, 4 1/3, got the loss, 5 hits, 5 earned runs, 4 walks, 6 Ks, a 10.38 ERA, a 2.08 whip. May 27th versus Baltimore, 6 innings, got the win, 4 hits, an earned run, a homer, giving up 2 walks, 10 Ks, a 1.50 ERA, a 1 whip, and a quality start. And then, like I mentioned, June 1st at Cleveland, 3 1/3, got the loss, 6 earned, a homer, 6 earned runs, a homer, a walk, 2 Ks, 16.20 ERA, a 2.70 whip. So right here, he's only had 1 quality start since May 4th. But I think he's going to get things going. He's going to bounce back. And like I mentioned a couple times throughout the weeks, the AL Central is not a great hitting division with Cleveland, Kansas City, Minnesota struggling this season, and Detroit as well can't really hit. So the White Sox, in my opinion, are the best team in the division. And I think Cease, he'll get things going, and he'll bounce back in a big way. And the 5th and final pitcher I look to buy low and trade for is Sonny Gray of the Cincinnati Reds. So Sonny Gray, the numbers, they're pretty good this season for Gray, but he's been a tough luck loser a lot so far this year with the Reds. So far on the season, 47 innings, 1-4 record, 43 hits, 19 earned runs, 8 homers given up, 20 walks, 60 strikeouts, a nice 3.64 ERA, a 1.34 whip, and 3 quality starts. So the only downfall for Gray is his team's not giving him run support, and he's only got 3 quality starts so far this season. The last couple weeks, the numbers for Gray: 16 2/3, 1-1 record, 13 hits, 6 earned runs, 3 homers given up, 6 walks, 21 strikeouts, a 3.24 ERA, and a 1.14 whip with 2 quality starts. So Sonny Gray, he's been pitching pretty deep into games this season, 6-7 innings the most part, but the last couple outings, they've been a little shortened, especially his June 1st one versus the Philadelphia Phillies. So the last few outings here, May 22nd versus Milwaukee, 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, a homer given up, 4 walks, 8 Ks, a 4.5 ERA, 1.50 whip, and a quality start. May 27th at Washington, 6 innings, got the win, 2 hits, 1 walk, 5 Ks, no ERA, 0.50 whip, and a quality start. And June 1st for him, 4 2/3, got the loss, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 homers, a walk, 8 Ks, a 5.79 ERA, and a 1.50 whip here. So Sonny Gray, he's gone out there. He's pitched well for this Red team for the most part this season. But right now with a bad loss record at 1-4 and not really quality starts in his latest outing, him only going 4 2/3, I don't think you got to pay the premium for him. And he's a definitely buy low candidate, in my opinion, because we saw last season Gray go 5-3 with a 3.70. And if he could just turn the wins around, I think we could get similar numbers from him this season. So that's a few pitches I look to buy low and trade for here in Week 9 of the fantasy baseball season.